How was I supposed to know my phone was still connected to the lecture hall speakers? I pushed open the lecture hall door and immediately knew something was wrong. Every single student in the room was staring at me. Not the normal glance you get when you walk in late. This was different. The entire class had gone completely silent. Girls near the front row looked absolutely mortified, refusing to even make eye contact with me. Some had their hands covering their mouths. The guys were shaking their heads, and a few people were whispering to each other while pointing their phones in my direction. At the front of the room, the professor stood frozen at the podium with his face in his hands like he was trying to hide from what he'd just witnessed. My cheeks tensed up by themselves. Something terrible had happened while I was gone, and somehow everyone in this room knew about it except me. I walked down the aisle toward my seat, my heart pounding faster with each step. Nobody would look at me directly. The silence was suffocating. The moment I sat down, my best friend Glenn leaned over with this panicked expression on his face. He grabbed my arm and whispered harshly, "Dude, your phone was connected to the speakers. What were you watching in the bathroom?" My mind went blank. "What are you talking about?" "Your phone, man." Everyone heard it. I pulled out my phone to check, my hands shaking. That's when I noticed something that made my blood run cold. At the top of my screen, it showed I was still connected to the lecture hall's Bluetooth speakers, the same speakers I'd used for my presentation last week, but that didn't make sense. I didn't want to believe it. This had to be some kind of mistake. Across the aisle, Sarah from my study group wouldn't even look at me anymore. She just stared straight ahead with this disgusted expression on her face, her arms crossed tightly. Then she picked up her backpack, stood up, and physically moved to a seat 4 rows away from me. She didn't say a word. She just left. Now I was freaking out. I opened our class group chat to see if anyone had said anything. The messages made it so much worse. "I am disgusted. That's so disrespectful." Below that, "I can't believe that just played in front of everyone. I'm filing a complaint with the department." The messages kept coming. People were posting crying, laughing emojis. Others were posting shocked faces. Someone had written, "Bro, what?" in all caps. This couldn't be happening. Glenn pulled out his phone without me even asking. "Dude, you need to see this." He turned the screen toward me and hit play on a video someone had recorded. Through Glenn's phone speaker, I heard it. A cheerful puppet voice singing in this overly enthusiastic kid's show tone. "The top number is the numerator. The bottom number is the denominator. Let's learn about fractions using pizza." Oh no, it was the Learning Math with Elmo video. The kind designed for second graders who were just learning basic math concepts. The puppet kept singing about cutting pizzas into slices while explaining the most elementary fraction principles imaginable. And it had played through the lecture hall speakers during my advanced calculus class. I felt my face burning. I had to say something. I cleared my throat. I was having trouble with fractions. I needed to brush up on the basics. The entire class erupted in laughter. It wasn't cruel laughter, but it was loud. People were cracking up at the sheer absurdity of it. Someone in the back row shouted, "You're in calculus, bro," which made everyone laugh even harder. Glenn was doubled over in his seat. Even some of the girls who'd looked disgusted before were giggling now, their hands covering their mouths. All right, that's enough." The professor's voice cut through the laughter. He was trying to sound stern, but I could see him fighting back a smile. "Everyone calm down. And you," he pointed directly at me, "disconnect your phone from the speakers. Right now." "Yes, sir," I said quickly, my face still burning. I pulled out my phone with shaking hands. I could still hear people snickering around me. I just needed to close the app and disconnect from Bluetooth. That's it. Just tap the video to close it, and this nightmare would finally be over. I looked at my screen. The Elmo video was still pulled up. I went to open the tab, but my finger slipped. I accidentally hit the thumbnail right next to it. Suddenly, loud moaning sounds blasted through the lecture hall speakers at full volume. Oh no. My entire body tensed up like I was being punched in the gut. I frantically started swiping and tapping on my phone, my hands shaking so badly I could barely control them. "Close it, close it, close it. Disconnect it now." The professor's voice exploded across the room. He wasn't smiling anymore. I somehow turned the volume up and it made it louder. Now the class erupted into total chaos. People were screaming. Others looked genuinely horrified all over again, their hands over their ears. I could see at least 3 people recording everything on their phones. I finally managed to close the app and disconnect the Bluetooth. The moaning stopped. I just wanted to learn about fractions.